Thursday, September the 18th, 2014. What's up, everybody? This is the Todd vlog. Okay, I don't do many of these kind of webcam type vlogs very often. Usually I'm shooting stuff with the little flip camera of the family. But I don't really have any of that footage right now, and something kind of fun happened today, so I thought I would just do this. I would just turn on my camera and tell you this little story and then tell you what happened today with my wife and my son. Today, Jonah and Kristen were waiting for Finley to get done at school. And they went to just kind of run around, right? So I'm getting little text of, hey, we're going to get something to eat. And they went to Steak and Shake. And they were just kind of running around doing all this stuff. Now, I was working at home because we'd had a repairman here today working on our dryer for the third time. When I was a kid, I loved to read. I still like to read. But I didn't buy a lot of books. I was a kid. I didn't have any money. But I always wanted books all the time. And so I would always ask my mom for books. But I never would do it like in a place that actually had books that I probably needed. So I never would ask for books from like the Christian bookstore or from an actual bookstore like in the mall or something like that. I would only always want the like terrible, awful books that they would sell in the little book section of Albertsons. You remember this when grocery stores would have these little, I'm not talking about the front display at the register. They used to have these little magazine racks. They still have them, but used to it seemed like there were way more books. And there were these books that looked like the coolest things for a 10, 12-year-old boy. They would have a picture of a guy like holding a gun or like, you know, rappelling out of a building with a, you know, an AK-47. I would read the back, try to find out. And all these books, the ones I always wanted, they were about this guy named Mack Bolan. And so in my mind, I built up Mack Bolan to be this awesome thing. I loved Mack Bolan so much that when I was in the 7th grade, no, excuse me, when I was in the 6th grade, I wrote a 72-page spy novel. 72 pages, handwritten, about this guy. He was a spy. He was a former Green Beret. Because I was so taxed creatively with what I had already written, I was having trouble finding out his name. And so I called him Mick Bowman. So that shows you how much I loved Mack Bolan. So 2 or 3 weeks ago, Kristen and I are in this awesome used bookstore called P. Picker Books. Thousands of books. They're cheap. Just anything you could possibly find. And so I found some Mack Bolan books. I thought, oh, that's so hilarious. They still, you know, I don't know if they still make them or they're just old, but I told Kristen, oh, these are the ones I've always told you about. Remember, I would want to write a story. I made him Mick Bowman. This is Mack Bolan. This is what it's about. So today, Kristen takes Jonah to the bookstore, and they're looking around, and she's kind of texting me pictures of, you know, stuff they're finding. Finally, I get a text of what Jonah bought. Ladies and gentlemen, my son, with no prompting from me, bought 2 Mack Bolan books. We've got The Executioner is what he's kind of called, right? So we've got Blood Toll and Arctic Chill. I mean, when you're 12 years old, is there anything cooler than that? Blood Toll. Tensions are at an all-time high when Chinese and American fighter jets engage each other over the island of Taiwan. As diplomats point fingers, the situation behind the scenes grows dire. Intelligence reports indicate a terrorist group backed by high-ranking officials in the Chinese government has established itself on U.S. soil. Using high-tech jammers, the terrorists have blocked all communication with the outside world. With the city of Honolulu under siege and the death toll climbing, there's only one man who can take the enemy down. Going in alone, Mack Bolan infiltrates the terror cell. Another Pearl Harbor is at stake. This time, China may have started the war, but the executioner is determined to end it. This one looks a little more hip. Formed in the wake of World War I, a renegade secret society has never lost sight of its goal to eradicate the lesser races and restore a mythical paradise. This nightmare scenario becomes a terrifying possibility when the society discovers an ancient virus hidden in a Cold War-era military installation. Called in to avert the looming apocalypse, Mack Bolan must stop the white supremacists by... Oh. white supremacists. It's like snow. He must stop the white supremacists by any means necessary. Bolan tracks the group to Alaska, enduring the harsh Arctic conditions while dodging highly trained killers. But the clock is ticking down, and Bolan will need all his skills and resourcefulness to eliminate this threat. All that stands between millions of people and sure death is one man, the executioner. So I'm going to read these. Dormant Death is what they're calling the little subtitle there. Yeah. So we're going to read them and then let Jonah read them, hopefully. Hopefully they're good. You realize these are my first Mack Bolan books, too. It's going to be exciting. I'm excited to read these. Who knows? I may get addicted to Mack Bolan books. Anybody read Mack Bolan? I guess I'll have to do another vlog soon where we review these books. So, hey, you know, when it comes to, you know, having kids and all that stuff, I guess the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.